Hello and welcome to the Healthy Solutions for All YouTube channel. I'm Michelle Tonkin, MD. In today's episode, we're talking about silent invaders, viral infections and how they impact the body. So stay tuned. Thanks so much again for joining me here on this episode of the Healthy Solutions for All YouTube channel. Silent invaders, viral infections, and how they impact the body. So first off, what is a virus? We're going to go ahead and look at that definition from the Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, a virus is a submicroscopic infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cells of an organism. Viruses infect all types of life forms, from animals and plants to microorganisms, including bacteria and archaea. So basically, viruses affect every ecosystem on our planet. They're the most numerous species that we have in existence. And what happens when a virus enters an infected cell, the infected cell makes thousands of copies from the original virus and replicates the viral infection. Now, when it's not doing that, these infections, these viruses actually exist as particles, and they're known as virions. According to Wikipedia, virions consist of one, genetic material, i.e. long molecules of DNA or RNA that encode the structure of the proteins by which the virus acts, two, a protein coat known as the capsid, which surrounds and protects the genetic material, and in some cases, number three, an outside envelope of lipids. So most viruses are actually too small to be seen even by electron microscope, as they are 1/100th the size of a bacteria. So these are very small, but they can be insidious bugs. So how are viruses usually spread? Well, viruses are usually spread through like the common cold and flu, through sneezing or coughing, or maybe someone sneezes into their hand, doesn't wash it, and shakes your hand. The skunk bug, if someone has used the bathroom and hasn't washed their hands properly, that's one way someone can get it. Or things like HIV, which are sexually transmitted, or even things like mono, Epstein-Barr, Crumb-Teague, known as the monobug, known as the kissing bug, can actually be passed through the mucous membranes of the mouth, unsanitary habits, and things like that. So we want to talk about how things like viral infections actually become chronic. Now, thankfully, we have a God-given immune system that protects us from these viruses and bacteria and things that we face on a daily basis. And if you want to know more about how the immune system works, you can go under the description on the link there, and I'll talk about the YouTube video that I have called Immune Boosters, Boost Your Immune System, which gives a pretty detailed what happens with the immune system, how it functions. And so if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on that link. But what happens when your body has an infection, it develops antibodies towards that infection. And then so it has a memory of how to attack next time that infection comes around and tries to hit your body again. Or if you've had a bug and then it tries to come back on you for like a relapse, the body already has developed antibodies, and so it knows how to go after that. In the case of different types of flu, however, the flu tends to mutate, and so the body has to develop new antibodies every year to account for this new infection. Now, in the cases of something like Epstein-Barr, shingles, mono, these bugs, which like normal bugs, which usually get eliminated by the immune system, these types of bugs, Epstein-Barr and things like that, they actually will be deceptive, and they will pretend to be defeated by the immune system when they actually will go ahead and hide in the B cells, which is a white blood cell in the body and the immune system. And they'll hide from the immune system until a more opportune time to come out and affect your body. So what I mean by that is that they will come out during a time when your body is stressed, or maybe you've gone through some kind of trauma or accident, or you do have other infections, and then this type of infection kind of piggybacks off of that. We see this in people with shingles. Shingles comes from the chickenpox virus, varicella zoster. It lies dormant in the brain and spinal cord, and then it can be laid dormant for years. I've seen people who have shingles who maybe got chicken pox when they're like really young, and then like at age 40 or 50, they have shingles. What happens is that virus has never gone away. It just remains dormant in the system, and something happens, like I mentioned, like a trauma, chronic stress. Maybe they're dealing with some other type of infection, and this infection just comes out under it, and then you'll see these infections come. And so I'm going to leave you a little list here, and you can see all the different types of symptoms that chronic infections like Epstein-Barr, mono can cause. So another thing to think about too with chronic infections is that, like I mentioned before, they can be co-infections of a bigger infection. So like in the case of Lyme disease often has co-infections that go along with it. Because these stealthy invaders will see that this is opportunistic time for them to come out. The immune system is already plummeted, is down, and so they will piggyback off of that and come out under these circumstances. So a lot of times with things like Lyme disease, you'll see viral infections, you'll see candida, you see other things coming out, as the immune system is not strong enough to handle all this onslaught of invaders. So what do we do to protect our immune system, keep our immune system functioning optimally, and also if we think we're experiencing symptoms of chronic infection or maybe suffering from it, what do we do naturally to help our bodies? Well, the first thing we can look into is something called colostrum. This type of colostrum we're talking about is bovine colostrum, and bovine colostrum comes from a cow, the mother calf. It's produced 72 hours after giving birth to the calf. And basically we know from colostrum, from what our mothers gave us, colostrum has all the life-giving properties that we need to survive. So in the same way, bovine colostrum is very closely linked to what human colostrum contains, and it's something that we can actually take as humans because it matches us very closely to what we would consume. So in bovine colostrum, we're getting all the amino acids, the vitamins and minerals, the HGH, which is human growth hormone, which helps repair muscle, nerve, and bone tissue, and IgG, which actually helps the immune system. So colostrum helps your immune system, helps your gut, helps repair any injuries you might have in your body, and just a really worthwhile supplement to include in your daily regime. The one I suggest is one by Premier Research Labs. This colostrum is not been defatted, which means that the fat actually helps the absorption of the nutrients, and so it goes directly into the cell. And I've seen it really help a lot of people, a lot of different injuries and immune system support. So you can get colostrum in a variety of ways, from sprays to capsules to powder. I just prefer the Premier Research brand. Next, we want to look into something known as Collodial Silver. Silver has been around for thousands of years, so it's nothing new. But what they used to use silver for is they used to use it for this disinfecting agent. In the Old West, they'd actually put like a silver dollar in the water trough or water supply to help keep the microorganisms down. And in the pre-refrigeration era, they actually would take a silver dollar and put it in milk to actually keep it from spoiling. They used to even use silver before antibiotics became available to treat infections. So silver has been shown to be effective against over 650 different types of microorganisms, including things like Streptococcus, staph, candida, yeast type stuff, different viruses and bacteria. And so it's pretty good to use to help your body against these type of invaders. The kind that we recommend is ACS Silver by Results RNA. It's a plant-based silver. It's pretty safe and effective, and we see good results with that. Next, you want to look into vitamin C. Vitamin C, of course, is something the body uses through what we eat. It's a water-soluble vitamin, so we always have to keep taking a supplement form or getting that through our food. You can get vitamin C, of course, through fruits and vegetables and leafy greens like spinach and kale. And vitamin C, once it breaks down, it actually it breaks down to a form of hydrogen peroxide. So we know that that is really good against different microorganisms. It also helps the body's adrenal glands, which are important for flight or fight. So it helps you with stress. It also acts as an antihistamine. So if you're dealing with allergies or things like that, it helps your body with histamine reactions. I recommend between 1,000 and 2,000 milligrams orally of vitamin C on a daily basis. The kind that we like is a whole C. This comes from a plant source of fruits and vegetables. So it's a whole C, it's a whole vitamin C. It's not coming from something in a lab. And so your body recognizes it and uptakes it really well. So different hospitals and clinics will actually use vitamin C sometimes as an IV to help the body against different types of microorganisms or even cancer. So I highly recommend looking into vitamin C, implementing into your regimen. Next we want to look into something called lauricidin. Lauricidin is a derivative of lauric acid. We know that lauric acid actually comes from coconuts. So the difference between coconuts and lauricidin is that the body can only uptake a little bit of the coconut. So the absorption of that coconut oil is like 1%. And so you need quite a bit of lauricidin to actually make a dent against different types of microorganisms. And so this is why it's available in a supplemental form. So they recommend anywhere between, I think, 3 to 6 grams of lauricidin to actually enable the body to fight different microorganisms, as it's very effective as a natural antiviral and antibacterial. It's really even good against Lyme disease. It's supposed to help with removing neurotoxins associated with Lyme disease, and also helps to break up infectious Lyme colonies. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a little chart here below, and you can see all the different types of microorganisms that lauricidin is good against. Next we want to look into something known as, let me just pull my little list up here. As olive leaf extract. Now, olive leaf extract, of course, has been around for thousands of years. This is the olive leaf, comes from the olive tree, and it has been tested in laboratories and shown to be effective against virtually anything it was exposed to, from viruses and bacteria. If you go to, there's a book, Dr. Morton Walker, I believe his name, he has a book about olive leaf extract and all the benefits of olive leaf. I highly recommend checking that out. It's very insightful and will show you why olive leaf is so great. The kind I recommend is called D-lanolate from East Park Research. They've have a particular way of extracting this olive leaf and making it into a form of calcium alanolate. So it actually is able to be absorbed by the body. As most olive leaf, once it goes into your body, the proteins or amino acids in the gut actually inactivate the beneficial activity of olive leaf, and the calcium alanolate doesn't do that. So it's able to survive in the gut, able to kill off viruses and bacteria. And I know personally for myself, when I've tried other brands besides D-lanolate, they are not nearly as effective. So this particular brand, East Park Research, D-lanolate, is really the way to go if you're looking for olive leaf extract. Next, we want to talk about something called Tacuna. Tacuna is a product from Nutrimetics, and it comes from the bark of the Stricosa found in South America. It has antiviral properties, it has antifungal properties, and is anti-inflammatory properties similar to that of ibuprofen. So Tacuna also is used against different viral infections from flus, colds, Asian bird flu, cytomegalovirus, herpes zoster, hepatitis, meningitis, HPV, Epstein-Barr, I believe I already said that. And it's really effective as a natural antiviral. So I've had people with Epstein-Barr levels off the chart who do really well with this particular antiviral herb. So I highly recommend looking into that if you're suffering from any type of chronic fatigue or Epstein-Barr or mono or shingles. Tacuna is something you should look into. Lastly, for supplements, we want to look into glutathione. Glutathione is something that we naturally get from our diet. It's a combination of 3 amino acids, and glutathione helps as a master antioxidant for the liver. It also helps to regenerate the liver. And we know the liver is so important in filtering our blood and helping us metabolize nutrients and also helping with toxins. And so it's important that we keep liver health optimal, especially when we're dealing with some type of infection. So I highly recommend looking into glutathione. Glutathione you can get through, of course, supplemental form. The best form, of course, of glutathione is going to be whey protein. Whey protein is the best source naturally of glutathione, and it's the easiest for your body to absorb because it has all the elements there. The best whey protein that we have found on the market is the isolate whey protein. It's something that I would use on a daily basis, and it's a whey concentrate, not an isolate, which is very important because you're getting all the nutrients of whey, and also has enzymes to break the whey down. So if you have issues with lactose or things like that, this helps to minimize those reactions. Lastly, I want to talk about something known as on-demand biofeedback. Now, on-demand biofeedback is actually a machine from Germany, and I was introduced to this about probably 10-15 years ago. I started getting treatments because I was dealing with, of course, Lyme disease, and I was recommended by a client of mine to check it out. So I started getting treatments and just decided that I should get my own machine to help myself and other people. So that's what I did. I got my own machine, and I have a home office where I treat clients. But this particular therapy is available worldwide. If you go on onthemed.net, you see practitioners all over the world that offer this type of therapy. And basically what it is sound waves and pulse electromagnetic frequencies. So it utilizes the body's pulse, and this is why it's called biofeedback, to help the practitioner determine which frequencies the person needs. So it's very individualized, and it has 4 different modules on the machine. So the first module helps your body with organ healing, helping different organs to heal. The second module is a preset module which helps different types of issues people might have going on, from PTSD to insomnia, to stress, to anxiety, to joint issues, to pain, to injuries, and so forth. The third one is a microorganism module, helps the body deal with viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungus, and things like that. And the fourth one is a nutrition module, which helps your body to absorb nutrients that you might have a hard time absorbing, like vitamin C, B vitamins, protein, calcium, fat, and things like that. So each treatment is individualized according to what the person's body says that it needs. And there's a ton of science behind it, but go check out onthemed.net. I've been using this for many years. It's really helped me and a lot of my clients with their health. So I hope that you guys learned a lot today. I hope this video blessed you. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and share this video with friends and family and anyone who you think might benefit from it. Also, go ahead and drop us a comment if you have questions. Let us know. Check out our website, healthysolutionsforall.com, for great products, articles, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for more videos like this. And thank you so much for having me on here again today. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and make His face shine upon you. Have a blessed day.